welcome and thank you for joining me.
Oh.
I am Melanie and I am with Wayne Purcelli, and you are at the second annual THLN conference here in Austin. And please tell everybody who you are and what you're doing.
Well, Melanie, it's great to be with you, and it's great to be at the Texas Humane Legislative Network second conference. We're in Austin today, and I'm President and CEO of the Humane Society of the United States. And I've been a lifelong animal person, always had a great empathy for animals ever since I was a little kid. And now it's really my great privilege to be able to work on animal issues full time.
Well, I'm excited. How many animals do you have?
Well, you know, I travel all over the country for my work. I'm gone probably 60 or 70% of the time. So I have two elderly cats. They're both 16-year-old cats.
Oh,
yes,
man.
Yes, and they're doing okay. One of them is a little is feeling a little you know, elderly these days and is having a hard time getting around. But they're great cats, and I've had cats and dogs my whole life, and love them all.
Oh, well, I tell you what, on behalf of myself and I know everybody here, thank you so much for everything that you do, because without you doing traveling and doing what you do, we on the end, what we do, we couldn't do it without you.
Well, we're all in this together, and everything matters. I mean, the local rescue efforts and the education efforts, and then, you know, what we really concentrate on a great deal is preventing cruelty, stopping the puppy mills before they get going, or tackling the factory farms, or getting after dog fighting and cockfighting. So many different forms of abuse. Our plate is full because there is such a variety of animal abuse in this country. But I'm also heartened to know that there's so many people fighting in every community in this country. The good heart of Americans, the people of Texas, are concerned about cruelty. We now just need to get the corporations and the lawmakers and the other folks to catch up to the reality that people want to see cruelty stop, and that there's just no defense for taking advantage of helpless creatures.
And it's amazing that some people just still don't get it.
You know, these are all God's creatures, and we have all the power in the relationship over animals, and the fact that we are so smart and intelligent as a species should not give us a license to do whatever we want. It should instill a level of responsibility that we, because of our power and intelligence, have this responsibility to care for the least among us. And in this day and age, in the 21st century, the abuses of animals are just not necessary. I mean, we don't need to entertain ourselves by going to dog fights and cockfights. We don't need to wear the fur of animals. We have great food choices. We have so many things that we can do to solve the problems that exist for animals. And there's no reason for us to be, you know, patronizing puppy mills when shelters have so many dogs and cats that are available for adoption. So many of these problems are really easy, and that's what I'm struck by during all of my work for animals. And the little corrections that we can make in our daily lives don't require much sacrifice for us, but they do allow so much change in the lives of animals.
Well, I tell you, very well said. And again, I appreciate so much of what you do. It's Karen and I, before we got out of Big Spring, almost stopped and picked up another stray dog that was matted to the bone, and we're like, stop us before we adopt again, please, because everywhere you turn, there's another animal that's alongside the road, and my heart breaks.
Well, it's a shame that so many animal welfare groups even need to exist, because if people just behaved in the right way in the first place, we wouldn't need all these groups. But the fact is, there are people who haven't quite caught up to 21st century thinking about the proper care of animals, and it is an incredible mark of our society and an incredible mark for the state of Texas that there are so many people who care. And there are so many groups that are dedicated to fighting cruelty and solving the homeless animal problem and stopping neglect of animals. And, you know, whether it's in Austin fighting the legislature, or working in our communities to adopt out animals, or working at the national level to fight the big forms of animal abuse and exploitation, we all can make a contribution. Don't leave it up to somebody else. None of us can be bystanders to this problem of animal suffering and cruelty. We all have to be involved. That's the hallmark of our society. Society has changed because good people have stood up and done something a different way. They've shown a new pathway for people to be involved and to change society for the better. You know, we're not the same now in 2010 as we were in 1850 or 1900 or 1900.